Hey there, all my Facebook peeps. All right, this little video is kind of a sequel to the one I recently did about, it's kind of a math story puzzle problem about the missing dollar. If you haven't seen that, you need to go watch that first, or this really isn't going to make a lot of sense. But to refresh those of you previously on Rusty's Stupid Stories, it goes like this. Three guys give $10 to a kid to go buy booze for him. He takes the 30 bucks, buys $25 worth of booze. On the way back, he realizes he has $5, so he gives $1 to each of the guys, keeps $2 for himself. Each of the guys has invested $9. 9 times 3 is 27, plus the $2 the kid kept is 29. Where's the missing dollar? This has had the best reaction of any, well, best reaction, the most visceral reaction of any video that I've posted yet. I've had more people reach out to me about, it makes my head hurt, make it stop, where'd it go, you got to tell me where'd it go, that I'm going to explain that. I think what's interesting is after I told that little story, that little riddle, I went on to do a magic trick, a little lovely magic routine that required just an immense amount of talent and manual dexterity that no one seemed to pay attention to at all. They were so obsessed with the story of the missing dollar, they missed, well, clearly the performance of a master illusionist. But it's okay, my feelings aren't hurt. All right, so I'm going to explain to you, but before I do, let me tell you a little funny anecdote about this. I first heard that story in about 1980, that little thing about the missing dollar, and forgot about it after I reconciled it in my head and figured out why it worked. So in the mid-90s, I'm working at a place called Jump in Indiana. It's a drop zone. We teach skydiving. I was a skydiving instructor. And a lot of time between skydives. It takes a while to pack your parachute. It takes a while for the plane to get to altitude and back down. So lots of conversation goes on at a drop zone. And I heard people talking, and I heard someone say, ask Rusty, ask Rusty. So what is it? Well, one of them was a college student, and he said, hey, my professor told us this story. Listen to this. And he told me a variation of that. 9 times 3, 27. Got it? And I said, oh, I haven't thought about that in a long time. He goes, yeah, isn't it amazing that the numerical system is completely flawed and no one seems to care? And I chuckled and said, yeah, I'm sure some people could hear that and come to that conclusion. He goes, no. That's what they taught me in college. That story proves that math is completely unreliable. And I said, who told you that? And he said, my professor. And I said, are you sure you didn't misunderstand? He goes, no. It was like an epiphany moment. I said, you're telling me your college mathematics professor used that story to demonstrate that there's an inherent flaw in the numerical system? He goes, oh, no. He's not a math professor. He's a philosophy professor. And then it all kind of made sense. Now, in fairness, he could have misunderstood the professor, and the professor could have been using this as a little allegory. But it also wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that the philosophy professor, they spend their entire lives living and teaching in a world that is completely abstract and subjective and not only can't be verified, but can't even be tested. I mean, it's completely a hypothetical, not even theoretical, a hypothetical concepts. And that's all well and good. But maybe if you have a question about math, you should ask the math professor, not the philosophy professor. Conversely, if you want to know what the sound of one hand clapping is, maybe don't go to the physics guy, go to the philosophy guy. I heard about a predominant physics professor at an Ivy League school, and outside his door he had a sign that said, oh, by the way, in math and physics, t, the variable t, the letter t is typically to refer to time. And it said, in this classroom, t is always greater than or equal to 0. If you're interested in t less than 0, go see the philosophy department. Best advice I've heard. All right, so let me explain to you where the missing dollar went. The simple answer is there is no missing dollar. This is not a little quirk of math. This is a quirk of language. This is a little linguistic legerdemain, a little sleight of tongue, if you will, and here's how it works. It's the way the story's told that's deceptive, not the math. Each man starts with $10. They give the $10 to the kid. The kid now has $30, right? We're all good. That's all correct. He goes to the store, buys $25 worth of booze. As he's coming back, he has $5 in change. This is all correct. He gives $3 to the men, distributed evenly, so $1 to each of the guys. That leaves him with a $2 tip. Each man started with $10, got $1 back. They've now invested $9. That's correct. There's 3 of them. That's correct. 9 times 3 is 27. That's correct. Plus the $2 the kid kept is 29. See, that last one is where we messed up. You don't count the $2 tip, and here's why. When each of these guys invested $9, and they did, 10, they got $1 back. What they invested in were 2 things. Number 1 was a portion of the $25 worth of alcohol. And the second thing they invested in was a portion of the $2 tip. So their $9 investment got them alcohol and the tip. The tip was part of that investment, so it doesn't make sense to add it back in. So the better way to think of it is there was $25 worth of alcohol, and there was $2 in a tip. That's a total of $27. Each of them invested $9. 9 times 3 is 27. It all works out. But you may be saying, Rusty, but there was the $30. Well, to get the $30, you have to include the $1 in each of the 3 guys' pockets. That's $3. 27 plus 3 is 30. It all works out great. Now, some people have explained some things in the post. Mr. Havlicek, one of my former math teachers, did an explanation, which is correct. And Beth posted a lengthy one that explained it, I think, in a bit of a convoluted way. I'm trying to keep it simple. So the way that made the most sense to me is that you realize 9 times 3 is 27. The 27 is $25 worth of alcohol. $2 tip, there's your 27. The $3 in their pockets, that adds up to 30. That's the problem. Done. No missing dollar. But still, forget about that for a second. Now that you know it, hopefully you can sleep tonight and not, take any more aspirin for your headache. Go back and watch the original video and check out the magic trick I did at the end to prove this, because believe me, it's really good.